Hi, hello, what it be, what it do, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, even, maybe. Today, you got some commentary video, got some 2vx and some 1vx stuff. It's mostly Spear gameplay, right? You gotta enjoy Spear while it's good. Hopefully it doesn't get nerfed before Willbender or Catalyst or Harbinger or Thief or... Never mind. Anyways, been stuck in T1 for this entire matchup, so really waiting on that relink tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm not stuck in T1 again for another month, because I will cry, because I've been fighting Raw's Rest for like 4 weeks in a row. But the content's been really good, and all that stuff, so should be good there. But anyways, like I said, some 2vx and 1vx stuff. Hope you guys enjoy, hope you learn something, and let's get into the fights. Alright, this first fight is going to be a quick little 2v6 with our boy Homage here. If you don't know Homage, he's a Revenant PvP player. I think he's like one of the last 5 PvP players in the game. But go check him out if you desire some PvP content. Now, in this fight, I see that this Ranger's not on a mount, so I go ahead and focus him first. And luckily, he is fairly glassy, so I'm able to down him fairly quickly. Now, as soon as I come back, I'm going to back off because I see those other players coming. And I want to use this as a focal point in the fight. So as soon as I see that gyro come out, and go ahead and full burst on the down. And I'm able to down the Scrapper as well. And there's also this Revenant that comes down and tries to res, but I CC that. Don't want to let them get a free res off. And then as soon as this other Ranger comes, I see that he's very glassy. I'm able to stun him with the shield 5 and then auto attack him with some quickness sword autos, which is able to output a ton of damage. Now I'm pretty low in cooldowns, so I'm going to use the terrain to my advantage and pour it up and just kind of give myself some breathing room, right? I don't have to play super aggressive. They're letting me free cast, so this is perfect for me. Homage is on Vindicator, so he's got some decent survivability, but I'm making sure to talk to him and see like how his cooldowns are. I was going to try to get that Willbender off of him, but as soon as I saw that F3, I decided it's not worth it, and I decided to just down this Herald instead. Now with this Herald, I'm going to take time in cleaving him. I'm talking to Homage in Discord, and I'm asking him how his cooldowns are. If he's going to go down, go ahead and go down, because I can rally him with this Revenant. Now, he says he's pretty good, so as soon as I see this Willbender come toward me, I'm going to swap to my Greatsword set. I'm able to land a nice Greatsword combo and down him almost immediately. And then I pop my Mass Invis, and then as soon as I see this Harbinger kind of come up, I decide to go ahead and go for another burst. I'm able to kind of just walk him down with that sword auto attack and another F1. And yeah, it was a pretty clean fight, you know, kind of a weird spot, kind of a fun spot fight. Don't get a lot of fights here often. So yeah. Alright, changing it up a little bit. This is going to be a 1v3 with a Willbender, a Bladesworn, and later on a Bound Staff Thief. You don't see that very often. But yeah, so I decided to open up on this Willbender. I see that he's very glassy. He also has Stormsinger Relic, so he's going to do a ton of damage pressure. So I want to get this guy out as fast as possible. I land a 5k Spear 2, so you know that player is extremely glassy. And like I said, Spear does a ton of damage, especially on Chronomancer, so I thought I was going to be able to cleave this guy, land a 3-clone F1 right on top of him, but the Willbender does get up, and right about that time I realized how tanky this Bladesworn actually is. It's got to be some sort of semi-support build, because Mesmer just does so much damage pressure, but I'm able to follow it up with a Mass Invis, get a safe heal off, and make some distance, and then as soon as this Willbender jumps back on me, decide to go for a shield block into the Scepter, and then another shield block, just to kind of buy myself some time. And then right about this time, the Thief shows up. Decide to go for a C-split burst on the Bladesworn, but it gets interrupted almost immediately by the Thief's steal. So it pretty much just wastes continuous split, but that's okay. Decide to make some distance, get another heal off, and now I want to separate these players because I'm kind of low in cooldowns. So I decide to go into the water where I can go Spear 4 and Spear 2 for some mobility. The Willbender does decide to follow me, so I follow it up with a Spear 5 into the Spear 3 F1. I'm able to down this guy in the water. Now the Thief decides to show up. I decide to go for some damage pressure with Spear, but unfortunately the Thief dodges about 4 times in a row and I do absolutely 0 damage. So I decided to just go back to that Willbender, double down him so I don't have to worry about him anymore. And here I'm kind of concerned about what I'm going to do. I have a super tanky Bladesworn, a super evasive Thief. What is my best option? So I decided to go for a Mass Invis, get a safe heal off, and I'm thinking maybe I should open up on the Thief just because if I can land any damage at all, it should be fairly glassy. And luckily, I'm able to land a nice Scepter 2 into the F1 and down this guy almost immediately. Now I followed up with a Spear 2 on the down for clarity and followed up with a Spear 5 into the F1, Spear 2, Spear 3. Now, I wasn't going to make the same mistake of not committing a ton of my damage to the cleave. I'm able to double down that Thief and in the process do a ton of damage to this tanky Bladesworn. I'm able to stun him with a shield 5 and do so much damage that I down him with a Torment tick. So basically I'm a Condy Mesmer at that point, but that's okay. I was able to down all 3 of these guys, and felt like it was a pretty well-rounded fight. You had a very glassy, high mobility player, a very tanky Bladesworn, and then a very evasive thief. So pretty well-rounded fight, good variety, and yeah, let's go to the next one. All right, this next fight is going to be a fairly quick 2v4 versus a comp group with a Firebrand, a Spellbreaker, and 2 Rangers. My friend here is on static discharge hollow, so you're going to see him kiting around a lot. It's just how that build operates. But while I'm down here, this Ranger decides to jump on me, so I open up with a Spear 5 into the Spear 2 F1. Wasn't able to down him. Even if I was, though, the Firebrand probably would have rezzed him, so I decided to open up on the Firebrand next. Don't necessarily have to one-shot this guy or anything like that, but I just want to do enough damage pressure to prevent him from using his cooldowns on his teammates and force him to use cooldowns on himself. Now he double dodges the Spear 2 and the Spear 4, but I'm able to down him with the Spear 4 Phantasm. And if you can see in the background, my friend is kiting the other 3, separating them from their support, so I take this time to get the clarity on the down, followed up with a Mass Invis for both of us, and then as soon as I go for this res, followed up with a Spear 4 into the Spear 3 F1, followed up with another Spear 2, and I'm able to down one of the Rangers, get this Spellbreaker super low, and as I'm downing him, I'm able to down the other Ranger as well. Now this fight is a good example of if you're able to separate your team, or separate who you're fighting, especially from their support, you can make fairly quick work out of an outnumbered situation, especially if you set up something like this where you take your time and kind of just bait that down, right? Alright, this next fight is going to be another fairly quick one. It's going to be versus a Soul Beast, a Virtuoso, and a Mech. Now I decided I want to go in the Mech first, but before I start the fight, I decided to go for a Clarity on the mounts, which plays out very nice. I'm able to get a nice Spear 5 on this Mech and continue split, and I'm almost able to down him, but as soon as I come out, I'm able to follow it up with another Spear 5 and down this guy. Now here, I see that this Virtuoso is super glassy. I was going to go for just the cleave on the Mech, but as soon as I see that 5k Spear 2, I know he's extremely glassy, so I decided to follow it up, and I'm able to down him as well with a almost 6k Scepter 2. That's insane. Also, while I'm fighting these guys, something weird kind of happens. If you notice here that now I'm running dueling, so I have the reflect trait, and this Mech throws his TC, and I reflect it. I'm able to CC all 4 players at once. This gives me a perfect opportunity to land a Spear 2 on this Ranger and down him as well. Now this is going to be a 1v4. There is a support, but I don't really interact with them, so we're going to call it a 1v4 even though there's 5 players there. Now this is going to be 2 Condi Heralds, a Condi Tempest, and a Reaper, and then of course that support. Now this one Herald decides to jump down, and I have a target on the Reaper because I want to get him out of the way first, but as soon as he jumps down, he actually jumps right off the cliff, which is perfect for me. I get the clarity on the original Herald, and then followed up with a nice Spear 5 into the Spear 2 F1 combo, and then I'm able to follow it up again on the Tempest, and then I'm able to down all 3 of these guys. I'm able to cleave one of the Revenants just in time for the Reaper to show back up, and decide to open up with the Mass Invis and then kind of get a safe heal off. I'm feeling pretty confident right now. This guy tries to go for the res, but the Tempest prevents that by going into Mistform. I'm able to get clarity on the Reaper, and then followed up with a Spear 5, Spear 2 F1, and then another Spear 4. And then that's the support I was talking about. He does get a Signet on the Condi Tempest, and I kind of have to follow it up. Now, I don't have any Condi clear right now other than my weapon swap, so kind of have to play fairly careful, especially with those burnings. They can kill you extremely quickly. So you're going to see me playing defensive, and then I'm able to catch him with a nice Scepter 3 for almost 5k, and then followed up an F1 to down this guy. Like I said, didn't really interact with the support, didn't see a reason to, so yeah. Alright, well, with all that being said, that is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. These fights were fairly quick. Spear always makes fairly quick fights, so I guess that's kind of good. Maybe not really the best for commentaries, but that's okay. We work with what we got, and yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if you have any things you want to see specifically, please let me know. If you have any ideas or suggestions, also let me know as well. But yeah, with all that being said, happy holidays. Hope you guys enjoy some time off, all that good stuff, and yeah.